Welcome back. This is part 2 of the 7-4 video. If you haven't watched part 1, please go back and start part 1. So part 1, I reviewed all the rules that we've learned up to this point, or at least seen. And then I covered questions 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I kind of did the worksheet not in order. I would like you guys to try questions 1 through 4 on your own now. I personally think these more simple ones are easier after you did the more complex ones. I know, that's weird. I just do it anyways. So you should have already done 5, 6, 7, and 8 on this in-class worksheet. If you haven't, you didn't watch video 1. So please go back and watch it. Now let's tackle these. So I see a single number. I see the same amount of m's on the top that I see in the bottom. They cancel. Your answer is 2. Or if you really want to say 2 over 1, you are welcome to do that. But you can just say 2 if you'd like. So try 2, 3, and 4. You can pause the video and give them a try on your own. Okay? Give it a try. Okay, welcome back. So I have a 2 downstairs. He has no other numbers to hang out with. And then I see some x's. I see 2 x's on the top and 2 x's on the bottom. They all cancel. I'm going to have a 1 space holder on the top. Your answer is 1/2. Nice. Let's look at this jazz. The 2 has nobody to hang out with. There's no one to multiply by or reduce it or simplify it anyway. It's just a 2. And then I can clearly see that I have more x's on the top. By how many? 1. So you can have that as your final answer, or you're welcome just to say 2x. It's up to you. Okay? And if you're like, I need to see this one a little clearer, Mrs. Miller. Well, that's 2 x's, and a single x downstairs. There's your 2x left over. Okay? So if you're a visual learner and you need to write it out to help your brain to figure it out, then you do that. Okay? Next one. I see a 2 upstairs. Beautiful. Where do we have more x's? Top, bottom, or are they the same? If you said the bottom, excellent. How many extra do we have down there? A single x. Congrats. Now you have half this worksheet done. Notice that 1 through 8 have no negative exponents. And then we go to 9 through 16 and it's like shenanigans. They're like everywhere, okay? So now let's tackle the harder stuff. And again, Mrs. Miller is kind of blazing her own path, you could say, because I know that the way my brain operates and the way the majority of my kids' brains operate is this strategy that I'm using. But if you want to see the quotient rule used in all of its glory, you can go to Khan Academy and there's some great videos there, okay? I'm not dogging the rule. It's a good rule, but I will be very, very honest. I've never used it even when I was in high school. Why? Because my brain didn't like that rule. So I just don't use it, but I use my own version of it, okay? So let's look at this one. Whoa. First thing we should do is move the negative exponents, just like we would have done before. Let's make them some happy exponents. I'm going to leave the 6 and 4 alone for now. X negative 3, let's move it downstairs. Y negative 1, let's move it upstairs. Now we have 3 things to deal with. Numbers, our x's, and our y's. And you can tackle those in whatever order you want. I'm going to tackle the x's first. Where do you have more x's? I know that's a weird question, but just answer it anyways. Where do you have more x's, top or bottom? You're like, well, there's only on the bottom. Okay, there's no one he can cancel with. They stay. Where do you have more y's, top or bottom? Top. There's only y's sitting upstairs, so we're going to leave them there. The 6 and the 4, reducing fractions, the nemesis of so many students. It's because they're trying to think of all these really big numbers that might divide in. You know what? I'm going to give you a secret. If you just divide by 2, 3, 5s, 7s, sometimes 11s, but if you just focus on these 4 numbers, you can reduce most things. You might have to repeatedly reduce to simplify it completely, but if you just focus on 2, 3, 5, 7, you're pretty good, okay? So I always start with the 2, because we need to reduce this fraction. They're both even numbers, which tells me a secret. It can probably be reduced or simplified. So I'm trying to think of a number that equally divides into 6 and 4. And I'm going to start with 2. Let's check 2. Does 2 equally divide into 6 and 4? Yes. 2 divides into 6 how many times? 3. 2 divides into 4 how many times? 2. Now we should go back and check. Well, I know I don't need to continue to check because when a number is 1 away from the other number on the number line, I know they can't be simplified because the only thing that can reduce them is 1, and that's, well, it doesn't reduce anything. So we have 3 and we have 2. Final answer, and no, you don't need that little 1. Ms. Miller, do I have to reduce to get it right? Yes, that's a requirement. Let's look at this little beast. First thing I do is I move my negatives around. 4 and 3 I leave alone for now. X to the negative 1, dude, you look unhappy, let me move you. Y to the negative 4, you wouldn't look unhappy, let me move you. Y to the X to the 0, you're fine, you just stay right there. And Y to the 2, okay. Well, that's interesting. We have a whole sea of things living downstairs in the denominator. We only have one thing. Also, let's reduce our 4 and 3. We can't. Remember I told you a secret. If the numbers are 1 away from each other on the number line, they can't be simplified. So the 4 is going to stay on the top, and the 3 is going to stay on the bottom. They cannot be simplified. Now, I have no letters on the top. So if I asked you where are there more X's, you're going to be like, well, downstairs. So here's a single X, here's no X's. So let's make X something we can relate to, like an X-ray machine. You have one X-ray machine, and then I give you no more X-ray machines. How many X-ray machines do you have? A single X-ray machine. And you can put the 1 on or not, it's up to you. And then you had 4 yogurts, and I hand you 2 more yogurts. You have 6 yogurts downstairs. Final answer. Let's look at 13. So we have 12 on the top, we have 6 downstairs, A9 is going to stay, and A to the negative 9 is going to move upstairs. So if you had 9 apples, and then you got 9 more apples, well, you got 18 apples. They're all upstairs, they just combine. 12 and 6, remember the rule. If you're going to reduce, check for 2s, 3s, 5s, 7s. Let's check for 2s first. 2 is the go-to. How many 2s? Well, does 2 go into both 12 and 6? It does. 2 goes into their 6, 2 goes into their 3. Cool. Now let's check again. Does 2 go into both of these? No. So let's move on to the next number I told you to check, 3s. Does 3 go into 6, and does 3 go into there? It does. 3 goes into there twice, and 3 goes into there once. So we have 2 left on the top, and a single 1 left downstairs. You don't have to have a 1 on the bottom if you don't so desire. Okay? Good job. I'm going to scooch this over, and we're going to look at 10, 12, and 14. Oy, Chihuahua. Bending. It's hard. Okay, so I'm going to erase and scooch this over. Now you can also pause the video, which I think is a very wise decision. Pause the video, and you can try all of the rest of the work all by yourself. Go for it. Why not? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I have to use my eraser because I made a mistake. That's how we learn, guys. Okay, so let's look at this one. I have an 8, and now I'm going to look at all my letters. You, woo, you're unhappy, move downstairs. You, you're unhappy, move downstairs. You are downstairs and you're unhappy, move upstairs. And you're B to the 0, you just hang out wherever you were. Cool. The 8. The 8 has no other numbers to simplify with, reduce, multiply, divide, nothing. He's going to hang out right there. Ooh, I have A's on the top and the bottom. So I know there's going to be some canceling going on if you, when in doubt, wrote it out. So where do you have more A's? Top, bottom, or are they the same? Top. By how many extra A's do you have upstairs? 5? I agree. Where do you have more B's, top or bottom? If you said downstairs, I agree. There were 2 bumblebees, and then no more bumblebees flew by. So how many total bumblebees do you see? That would be 2. Let's look at these. So we have a 3. Stays, stays, stays. You stay downstairs. Ooh, you move. You're an unhappy X. Ooh, you move. You're an unhappy Y. Cool. I'm gonna put the little 1 on there because I'm a visual girl. Let's reduce this. So we can check for 2s. 2 doesn't go into 3. Let's try 3s, right? We're supposed to check 2s, 3s, 5s, 7s. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into there twice. We have a 1 and a 2. All my variables are up top. So if I have 1 X-ray machine and you get 4 more X-ray machines, we have 5 X-ray machines. You had 4 yogurts, you get 2 more yogurts, you're up to 6 yogurts. Cool. Are we good? Nice. 14. 14's a good one. There's nothing too crazy. Everybody's positive, so we're good. So let's talk about reducing 6 and 8. We're going to check for 2s, 3s, 5s, and 7s. Let's check for 2s first. Does 2 go into both of these numbers? It does. How many 2s are in 6? 3. And how many 2s are in 8? 4. 3 on the top, 4 downstairs. We know they don't simplify further because they're 1 number apart. Where do I have more X's? Top, bottom, or are they the same? You're like, well, I only have X's up top, and there's no other X's. So the 13 X's just hang out. And Y's. Where do I have more Y's? Top, bottom, or are they the same? If you said there's more Y's on the top, I agree. By how many more Y's are on the top? We have 10. Perfect. And now we have 2 little questions left, and I'm just gonna put them on this video, might as well. Okay, so we have 15 and 16. You could pause the videos and give these a little try on your own and see how you do. Okay, so let's look at this little beast. I'm thinking of a number that goes into both 4 and 12, 2, 3, 5s and 7s. 2 goes into there twice, 2 goes into there 6. Let's check again. 2s again. 2 goes into there once, 2 goes into there 3. Perfect. We have 1 on the top, 3 downstairs. Where do you have more B's? Top or bottom? Bottom. By how many? 1. Where do you have more A's? Top or bottom? Bottom. By how many more? 6. You don't need that one. You must have that 1 space holder, and the A, of course, could be written before the B if you wanted. Cool. And last one over here. Let's reduce our fraction. So 2's go into there once, 2 goes into there 5. So we're going to have a 5 and a 1. Where do you have more A's, top or bottom? There's more downstairs. And then that B is an unhappy B, so technically he's going to move downstairs. And then we're going to have 13 B's and 15 more B's. So we're going to have B to the 28. And final answer. Congrats. Have a great day. Make sure you print the homework and do the 7-4 homework. The answer keys are online for you to check your answer. Have a great day. Bye.